What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Dallas Mavericks, and we're going to be talking about why this team is the ultimate playoff nightmare, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Dallas Mavericks have made the playoffs the previous 2 seasons, and although they were a threat in both of those series, they were also the underdogs, and they did end up losing both times in the first round. But this season, I think things are going to be different for the Dallas Mavericks because they've done something to take their team to that next level, and I feel like the turning point for the Dallas Mavericks this season came at the NBA trade deadline when they traded away Kristaps Porzingis for Spencer Dinwiddie. And before I talk about how great this trade has been for the Dallas Mavericks, I just want to say it's very tough to see as an NBA fan the duo of Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic not working out, because to me these are 2 of the most unique players in NBA history, and I think if they could have got it right, they would have been very special. But Kristaps Porzingis, his health problems just hindered that, and the Dallas Mavericks had to do what was best for their organization, and that was bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie. And it looks like one of the best trades at the NBA trade deadline. And it's just crazy what a breath of fresh air can do for an NBA player. We've seen it this year with DeMar DeRozan and the Bulls. We've seen it with Marvin Bagley going to the Detroit Pistons, and now we're seeing it with Spencer Dinwiddie going to the Dallas Mavericks, because things seem very toxic in Washington, and it had him not playing his best basketball. But since he's come to the Dallas Mavericks, he's been playing some of the best basketball of his career, and the numbers show that. Spencer Dinwiddie is averaging 17 points. I think he's getting like 4 or 5 assists per game, and then his shooting splits are pretty crazy. He's shooting 50% from the field and then 44% from the three-point line. So Spencer Dinwiddie has been great for the Dallas Mavericks, and he brings in something he gives the Dallas Mavericks and something that they lack. He brings being another ball handler, and then another guy that can create his own shot. And that's very pivotal for the Dallas Mavericks, because a lot of the times they rely heavily on Luka Doncic to do everything offensively for himself and the other 4 guys on the court. But bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie, it relieves some of that pressure off Luka, and it also allows him to sit out of games longer and get more rest. But the way that Spencer Dinwiddie does things is very fun to watch, because what I like about him the most is that he's very relentless when it comes to putting pressure on the defense by driving the basketball. He gets to the rim at will, and even if it's not working at first glance, he still keeps putting that pressure on the defense, and eventually it opens up so much for the offense. Whether he's dumping it off to a big when he gets down there, or if he's driving and kicking, or if he's driving and finishing at the rim, it just brings up a whole bunch of different possibilities for the Dallas Mavericks on the offensive end when he's driving to the rim and putting pressure on the defense. So Spencer Dinwiddie, he's been really solid for the Dallas Mavericks so far this season, and I feel like this trade was they get an A+ for that. And then also looking at the rest of this roster, they have other secondary ball handlers on this team, and Jalen Brunson, who's one of my favorite players, who I feel like is very underrated in the NBA. And he's like more of an old school point guard. He plays at his own pace. He knows how to change the pace. He knows how to slow the game down, and he seems like he's very under control at all times, and he's a very solid passer. And then also he has one of the smoothest jump shots in the NBA, and he's having a pretty solid season for the Dallas Mavericks, averaging 16 points per game while getting 5 assists. And then also he's shooting 50% from the field and then 38% from the 3. And those shooting splits are very great, especially for a point guard. And Jalen Brunson, he's another guy that takes that pressure off Luka Doncic, because he can create his own shot. He can create for others. He can shoot the 3 ball. So Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Luka Doncic, those 3 guys make up a very good trio of as far as when it comes to creating for themselves and creating for others. And then also the biggest reason that I'm so high on the Dallas Mavericks is Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic, he's at a very young age in this league, and it's very scary because he's nowhere near his prime. But the way he plays right now is like, how can he get even better than what he is right now? And if he does find a way to get even better than what he is right now, the NBA is in trouble. But Luka Doncic, watching him play is just really mesmerizing, because he's a genius, and I think he has like the potential to have Chris Paul, LeBron level IQ when it comes to the game of basketball. Because something that I notice about Luka Doncic, he does this And this is the same thing that LeBron James does. Like, he's a genius at finding mismatches, and and most of the time it's during the pick and roll, especially when they play against a team that likes to switch everything, like the Boston Celtics, the Clippers like to switch everything. He get to switch onto one of them bigs, and he just gets to cooking because. And it's so fun to watch because Luka Doncic, he's not athletic at all. He's not the fastest. He's not the quickest. And he's definitely, he's not the most athletic guy on the court. But his moves are so crafty, and he just knows how to break you down and get to his spot and get to the rim. And then when he's hot and he got the step back cooking, there's really nothing you can do to stop him. And then he's one of the best playmakers in the league. And then he hits the boards hard, and he just gives you so much on the offensive side of the ball every night. And it's just really special. One of the most fun players to watch in the NBA. So then there's that, and then also the biggest improvement to me for the Dallas Mavericks this season has been on the defensive side of the ball. And I got to tip my hat to Jason Kidd because he's done a great job with this team as far as getting these guys to play defense. The Dallas Mavericks right now, they rank 6th in the league in defensive rating. And since the calendar year has flipped into the new year, they're a top 2 team in defensive rating. And it's just really amazing to see because there's not really that many great individual defenders on the Dallas Mavericks. And when you look at guys like Luka Doncic, who exerts so much energy on the offensive side of the ball, he usually doesn't give that much effort on the defensive side of the ball. But the Dallas Mavericks, they play such great team defense that they're able to hide Luka and put him in situations where he can be successful on the defensive side of the ball. But when you look at the Dallas Mavericks, like, they play great team defense. It's a defense that trusts each other, and they do a lot of communicating. You see them switch when there's a mismatch. You see them helping each other. You see them rotate. And Jason Kidd, he got this defense looking like the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Is giving me those kind of vibes. And they do have one lockdown defender in Dorian Finney-Smith, who he usually guards the best player every night. And he's very versatile because he has size, so he has size and he has quickness. So you can throw him on a bigger forward, or you can throw him on a guard. We've seen him do great jobs against guys like Donovan Mitchell. We've seen him do a great job against guys like Jason Tatum. This was just on Sunday. So he's a really good defender. And then what also makes it impressive is that the Dallas Mavericks don't even have a rim protector. So they don't have a guy that's great at blocking shots, but they rank top 10 in the league, and they're close to cracking top 5 when it comes to defensive rating. So I feel like Jason Kidd has done a great job in that department. And this Dallas Mavericks team they're going to be a problem in the playoffs, especially if they can end up getting the home court, because right now the 6th through the 4th seed is very tight right now. Like, right now they're tied with the Utah Jazz for the 4th best record in the Western Conference, and then the Denver Nuggets are right behind them as well. So every game for the rest of this season is going to be very pivotal for the Dallas Mavericks, and I feel like they've been one of the best teams in the NBA since acquiring Spencer Dinwiddie, and they that might be the best trade at the NBA trade deadline. So that's really going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Comment down below your favorite Dallas Mavericks player. Mine is probably Luka Doncic. The way he controls the game is crazy. And then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.